This is a podcast about how to make a podcast using educreations. First thing I did is I downloaded the app educreations from the App Store and put it on my iPad, and I opened it up, and this is my screen. Now, if you press the T, you can type anything, and tap says tap anywhere to type. So I'm going to type how to make a podcast. And let's see, with educreations. It's a little bit shaky. It's because I'm trying to hold my iPad with another hand to video this. Oh, this says wow. I think I want to say how. How. All right, now a lot of you probably have a question like, what is a podcast? A podcast is any video or recording of something that teaches something else. So it can be a video, it can just be a recording, and on it will be information that usually teaches you something. How to change a tire. All right, this one's how to make a podcast. Some of mine are math lessons, and it's something people can watch over and over again. So I usually make a template first. I'm not recording yet. Some of the other things that we can do, you can use a stylus. You press any color, and I might make a math problem. And I can go back and I can explain it. Down at the bottom, there's different types of paper. These are great for math. I can get some graph paper up there. There's a media button up here with the mountains and the sun. And I can get anything in my Dropbox, so I might have a document up there I can get. I'll put it in my Dropbox. We can talk about that at a later date. So any kind of a test or a quiz I could put on there. I can access my photos. I could even take a picture right now. So I go to my camera roll. Here's a picture of my classroom. Maybe I wanted that. You could put maps up there, diagrams. All right, so I set up my template. Now I actually want to teach something. I'm going to start back at the beginning, and the REC button's record. This is a podcast about how to make a podcast. Now it's going to record my voice and anything I draw on here now with educreations. So if I was a math teacher, then I have a math problem, and I would solve it. Let's see, we subtract 2 from both sides, and we get x equals -6. How many of you actually knew that? All right, maybe I could go to the next page, and I have a diagram. Oh, just more graph paper. You know, maybe you could say, all right, what are the names of these boys? You can draw on there. So you get the gist of it. So you can, all kinds of backgrounds, and then you can talk through it. When you're done, press the record button again. That stops it. Go over and press done. Pardon my arm there. Now it says save lesson. And we'll just call this test. Call it anything you want. Test podcast, we'll call it. And next. Now, I already have an account set up. I went online and set up an account in educreations first. I'm going to save it. I actually have accounts set up for my classes. That's what my students is. I'm going to make it private. You could make it public. There's no reason this couldn't be public. Subject area, so on and so forth. Now it's saving my lesson. Now you can see a picture of all my podcasts. They're there. Now I'm going to go over to the computer and actually copy a link and paste it on my website. You can do it on your iPads, but sometimes iPads are funny. They don't do everything a computer does, so just to be safe, I usually just go to the computer. So let's swivel over here. And here's my computer screen. I'm going to try this with one hand. So, all right, now, so I'm on my website, and I have already logged into my website. If you forget your login name, go to Mrs. Swisher. So at the top here is Site Manager. Click on that. Now I have 3 different places to go. Most of you just have one. So the left-hand side, I click on my teacher page. Now I want a brand new page. I'm going to create a new page. You have all these different choices. Article library. Let's go down to the very bottom. There's a file library. That's if you want to find files on your computers you already have saved. I'm going to copy and paste a link. So down at the bottom, I'm going to go to link library. Now this is going to be my page name. This will appear on the home page of my personal teacher page. So I'm going to just call this podcasts. And now we click save. So there's my podcast. Now I'm going to click on my podcast, and I need a new link because I just made a new podcast I'm very proud of. All right, now I'm going to minimize this page. And I'm going to go to educreations. So let's type it up here. Hopefully it'll come up because I'm on here a lot. There's educreations. All right, now let's see. This one I'm already signed in. Now, in order to do this, you already have had an account. So now what I do is I find my podcast. Here it is. I click on it. On the right-hand side here, it's going to give you a link to it. So I double-click. See, it says share this, and I right-click, and I copy it. Now I'm going to go back to my website. All right, now, let's see, we were in link library, and we had that pulled up, so I'm going to go in here. I need to name my page. So we're going to call this is just podcast. Let's call it pod. Type anything in. And then down here where it says address, all I do is I click on there, and I right-click, and I have the option to paste, and I paste my link. Don't forget to save. It's really important. There. Now, up at the top here, you can go to view your website. You always want to make sure it works. So let's see. On the left-hand side here, we go to podcasts. And there's my link. I'll call it pod. Let's see if it works. All right, there it is. It looks like what I did. So you can have a lesson here, and your kids just go in there and listen to you teach it. So there I can see it works. I don't need to listen to the whole thing. I just made it. So we'll stop it. There you go. That's how you make a podcast.